No kips.
It's incredible to me that Brad Bird voiced Edna Mode.
Yeah.
I had no idea. It's fantastic. I love Edna Mode.
Yep. That's getting in and getting your hands dirty, I think.
Go, fight, win. I love Edna. She's great.
I know, darling. I know. But before we get into all that, we have some bullshit, I believe.
We do, yeah. Please, I was going to say spin the wheel, but it's 6 a.m. If you don't want to spin the wheel, you can just make the noise with your face.
What do you take me for, Lewis? The wheel will get fucking spun, okay? I don't care if I'm lit in a hospital ward or something. It's Daniel, you're fucking dead with that fucking wheel. Jared Leto's Joker.
Yes, he has returned for the Snyder Cut, supposedly, hasn't he? Well, I mean, there's no supposedly about it. He has. I haven't seen the Snyder Cut. Have you seen the Snyder Cut?
Well, I was debating whether to get HBO Max for a free trial
fuck no.
and watching it, but I have a VPN, but you need to do all sorts of shit to get into that, and it's 4 hours long. Do you know what I mean? It's like...
Yeah, it is 4 hours long. No, I think it's... Yeah, if you don't want to pay for it, I think it's ethical. It's like, if you didn't want to pay for a new release Disney movie, I'd say that's ethical, because, like...
Yeah.
Is giving money to Disney really a good thing in the world?
No.
I don't really think so, if I'm being entirely honest.
No, not morally, anyway.
No, so yeah, Jared Leto's Joker, I think the key aspects of his performance are doing sex crimes against his fellow performers.
Yep,
that's shouting a honker honker. That's another good bit.
Yeah, and
yep.
When that film came out, everyone was like, you need to give him more time. He hasn't had enough time to give his performance. And in this one, he says, "Oh, if you kill me, who's gonna give you a reach around?" So he's got his.
Lovely, of course he does.
Yeah. So that's all he needed was some time.
Some time to make a joke about reach arounds.
Yep, of course. Now he's amazing. It was just a haze that fell over me when I saw it for the first time.
Oh God, it is kind of hilarious. This sort of insane culture that actors have to do a ridiculous amount of prep work for the Joker.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine if people were like... Can you imagine, right, if Jared Leto got cast in a new film, it was like an indie film, and he's playing John Q. Smith, or whatever.
Yeah.
Just some guy in this film. And he's like, oh no, yeah, to get into character, I had to send dead rats and used condoms to my co-stars in the film. And I had to... And you'd say, sorry, what, Jared Leto? That's fucking insane.
That's really weird.
Have you lost your mind?
Yeah.
That is utterly ridiculous. But because he was playing the Joker, it's completely fine. And it's like, oh, yeah, I mean, that makes perfect sense, Mr. Leto. Why would you not want to do that?
Wow, that's so method. Wow. The Joker has never sent, as far as I'm aware, in the history of comics, a used condom to one of his teammates or something. That has never happened.
And I mean, this might just be my personal reading of the comic, but I've always kind of viewed the Joker as vaguely asexual. As like, it's just not on his list of priorities. He's much more concerned with just causing chaos.
Well, he has Harley, doesn't he?
Yeah, but that's like this. I always viewed that as more of a sort of toxic power struggle than it was a relationship. You know what I mean?
That's true. I'm not saying goals or anything like that.
God, that fucking got me. When Suicide Squad came out and people were like idealizing the Joker and Harley's relationship.
Yeah.
No. He did throw her into a vat of acid. Perhaps that's not relationship goals.
Yeah. Rather than focusing on that, everyone was like, "Oh my God, he jumped in after her. He killed her and then jumped it." Like what?
Yeah, it's I feel like if I threw my wife in a vat of acid, I would expect her to leave me, because I don't think I don't think it's a sustainable practice in a relationship to throw your significant other into a vat of acid.
No, I mean that We don't usually get political on this show, but this is a stand that I'm happy to take. Yeah, don't throw your significant other into a vat of acid, okay?
Yes, if
Cheers.
you could at all avoid it, please do not throwing it. Oh God, it reminds me of, I forget the wording of the tweet, so I'm going to completely butcher this joke. Of like it's like the American healthcare system of like, we need to pay every month to stop the orphan killing machine from killing orphans, and nobody asks, well, why does the orphan killing machine exist?
Yeah.
Why does that even exist? It's exactly like that. It's like, oh well, he jumped into the vat of acid after it. Yeah, but why is there an open topped vat of acid just available for jumping into?
Can you not?
Why?
Can you not unplug it? Is there not a?
Can we not drain it into the sewers or something?
Is there not an off switch for the orphan killing machine? Is it Wi-Fi powered or something?
Fucking hell. I get what Jared Leto was going for I get that he was going for a more gangstery type Joker than a Force of Chaos type Joker, and I mean, I'm all for alternative performances and different readings of the same character and stuff.
Yeah.
But I just don't think it landed. I haven't seen Snyder's Justice League. It might be fucking brilliant. Jared Leto might make the movie, but I'm fairly sure he only has like a 1-scene cameo or a 2-scene cameo or something.
Yeah.
I really don't know. Maybe it'd be good, maybe it'd be bad. I know I didn't enjoy it in Suicide Squad.
No, me neither.
But Danny, he's lying on the floor with knives and guns around him. You can tell that means he's crazy.
Yeah, he's taken the time to like neatly position all these knives in a very specific way that encompasses him at the center of it. He's so unpredictable. He's crazy. He's no rhyme or reason to his action. Oh my God! Wow.
Yeah. I've got a question for you, which is not at all to do with Jared Leto or the Joker or the Snyder Cut or anything. Right, this is a bit of an internet meme that's going around in a minute. God, I sounded like a fucking boomer then. This is an internet meme.
A memester. A meme.
Right, who would win in a fight? Godzilla or King Kong?
Oh man.
There is, I mean, right. Here, let me lay out the power set for you.
Okay.
King Kong has the powers and advantages of being a big monkey.
Yeah.
He's got big old teeth. He can scream real loud. He's good at punching. He's furry. He is a big monkey.
Yep.
And Godzilla is a nuclear-powered lizard from like prehistory, and he can shoot lasers out of his mouth. I think there's only one real contender, if I'm being completely honest with you.
Right, okay, so the reason that this debate is like really annoying is because people are taking it so seriously as if there is a right answer, whereas both of those creatures would just collapse if any sort of semblance of reality was given to gravity would destroy both of them.
Yeah.
Can you imagine fucking King Kong trying to lift the weight of himself? He would just tear himself apart. But yeah, I don't know. I'd probably just have to go with King Kong because I like the underdog, and
that's true.
He'll probably win anyway. Oh, do you know who'll win?
Actually, no, he probably will because he was kind of humanized in Kong Skull Island, so he'll probably win.
Do you know who will win?
Who?
No one will win because they'll have to keep both of them in a stalemate so that they can use their money printing machine over and over again.
Yeah. Or maybe it'll be King Kong is just about to win, and Godzilla is laid out on his back on the floor. His sort of head is resting against some sort of steps in a confusing building that doesn't make much sense. And then and King Kong will have a spear tipped with a glowing rock.
Yep.
And he'll have his foot on Godzilla's chest, and King Kong will hold the spear.
I'm liking this.
And Godzilla will say roar, 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 which roughly translates to save Martha.
No.
And King Kong will say ooh ooh ah 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 ooh ooh ooh, which roughly translated from Big Ape translates to why did you say that name?
Yeah.
Why did you say that name? And then they'll become busy mates because of their mums.
Yeah, Godzilla will say, "Save Mothra," and King goes, "What?"
I'm pretty sure didn't Godzilla kill Mothra in the previous?
I think so.
It was one of the old ones. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Tell you what, I fucking loved that Godzilla movie that came out in, what was it, 2014, and Bryan Cranston was in it, and Aaron Taylor-Joy.
I thought it was shit.
What? It was really good.
Godzilla was barely in it.
Yeah, but I think that was kind of good.
Why?
I think because there was
It's called
it made it more
Godzilla.
scary. Well, I mean, yeah, that's a good point. But you look at things like Pete, the original RoboCop with Peter Weller. The thing that makes RoboCop a bit more sort of grotesque is that you don't see him for ages. At the start of the film, he's behind obscured glass, or you're looking out of his eyes and stuff like that. And then when you finally do see him, you're like, fucking hell, that's kind of grotesque in a funny way. I think that it kind of made Godzilla more scary to constantly have this thing be from you're inside a Godzilla bunker with all these civilians.
Yeah.
And the doors are slowly closing, and you just see a Godzilla foot crush a car as he's walking down the road, sort of thing.
Maybe I'll need to rewatch it.
I think it sort of made him a bit scary. Plus, the theme song for Godzilla is a fucking banger. It's on my work playlist. It's a fucking banger. If you get the chance, anybody out there, re-listen to the score from that movie. I don't know who composed it, but they did a fucking brilliant job.
Maybe I'll give it a rewatch then. It's just
Plus, yeah. Go on.
No, it's just you put Godzilla in the title. I suppose everyone's maybe wrongly just they just want to see Godzilla destroy stuff. Maybe people forget that there's room for nuance and sort of maybe more of a character driven story with that. But I don't know. I'd have to rewatch it because I saw it ages ago.
I'm pretty sure Bryan Cranston dies 10 minutes in or something. It's something really weird where because he was big and famous at the time, you're like, oh, well, he's going to be in this film loads then. Yeah. And then he just isn't, and it's like, well, this is really fucking weird. Why are they carting him off? He was really good.
No, yeah. No, I'll give it a watch. But then I find, you're not going to find out who wins because no one's going to win. They're gonna spin this off. They're going to milk this until it's dead. And then bring something else back that they had no business dredging up, and ruin that as well.
Or maybe they'll make a film which is sort of serious, but there's also some quips in it, in which Tom Cruise will be a sort of a soldier / archaeologist, and he'll run into Russell Crowe, who is running a laboratory. And also has a condition where sometimes he gets really angry and has superpowers, and he sort of has a different personality when he's angry and has superpowers too. And then Tom Cruise will be like, "Oh well, my friend died, and now I'm seeing him all over the place. I'm being haunted." And then Russell Crowe's like, "Oh well, come and meet I've forgotten her name." I watched that movie and I forgot that actress's name. She was in Kingsman, wasn't she?
Yeah, your bit is falling apart, Lewis.
It is, yeah, fuck.
Did you ever see Jekyll by Stephen Moffat?
I did not see Jekyll by Stephen Moffat.
Did you see it referenced in the H-Bomber Guy video?
I did see that referenced in the H-Bomber Guy video. Sophia Boutella, yeah, and Sophia...
Oh, you continue with this.
In the other room. Yep. We've got Sophia Boutella in the other room. Maybe she'll be able to tell you something about it.
Yep.
And then she I can't fucking remember this film. She turns into sand and then kills everyone. And then a big face turns up over London. And then the end credits say, "Oh, it's a Monsters Universe film." And you go, "Oh, they're making more of these." And then the film was a box office flop, so they don't make any more.
Wow.
That's the end of my bit, Danny. Come on, let's carry on your bit.
Wait. Maybe we should just move on to The Incredibles now. No, yeah, but
they made another Jekyll and Hyde one that was all right. I think it might have been called Jekyll Hyde or something like that.
All right.
It was like a BBC effort. Let me Google it. It was a TV series. Oh, fuck's sake. BBC or ITV or fucking something. I can't remember, but yeah, they did make a Yeah, they made like a sort of a mini series in which there was like quite a few sort of vaguely recognizable actors in it, and it was all right. It wasn't great. It was sort of the story of young Frankenstein in a strange way. Like the main character was like, oh, my uncle, Doctor Jekyll, has recently passed away, so I'm going to go to his house and have a look round and see if there's anything I want. Oh, there's a secret laboratory back here. Bloody hell!
Oh.
And it was kind of that. But it kind of worked because they kind of worked in some other Victorian monsters and crap, like Spring-Heeled Jack and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, right, okay.
It was a bit weird, but I quite enjoyed it.
That sounds interesting.
You could tell it was like done on a TV budget. Like I remember thinking that Spring-Heeled Jack costume looks shit.
Yeah.
But it was all right. Yeah.
Oh well, I'll need to give that a look. Wow, we've traversed the wastelands of bullshit today, haven't we? We went from.
We have, yeah. It's like, yeah.
Definitely. But I think I'm out. Are you out? Are you satiated?
I am satiated, yes. I'd like to talk about The Incredibles now, please.
Excellent. Well, in case you didn't realise, we're doing The Incredibles, Uno, and
Go on.
Yep.
Go on, Dan.
What's two in Spanish? What is it?
Dos.
Dos. Yeah, dos. Uno and dos. Yep.
Fucking hell.
I can't believe I didn't. Anyway.
Haven't you been to Mexico?
Yeah.
Pick up a bit of Spanish while you were there, or?
No. I didn't. I just enjoyed the food and the sunshine.
As you do.
Even though it rained the whole time I was.
Lovely.
Yeah, it was hot rain though. It was nice.
Nice. Like a
shower.
Like a garden hose.
Yeah, like a garden hose. What do you mean?
Yeah, like a hot garden hose.
Okay.
A garden hose next to a fire.
A garden hose that comes from the hot tub.
Yep, that's the one.
Nice.
That hot tub we all have in our back garden. You want? What's your opening statement?
I better do the credits first.
Oh yeah.
These two films were written by Brad Bird and are directed by Brad Bird, and they are starring Craig T. Nelson, Holly Hunter, Sarah Vowell, Spencer Fox, Jason Lee, Samuel L. Jackson, Bob Odenkirk, and Catherine Keenan. So yeah.
Indeed they are. I remember how excited I got when I learned that Bob Odenkirk was going to be in the second one. I was like, oh my god!
Yeah, you know that Jonathan Banks, who plays Mike, is what's his name? The guy who erases people's memories.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I didn't know that. No.
Well, there you go.
Very cool.
Two very charming films about the suburban life of superheroes with family-friendly jokes that are still very funny, as well as two compelling villains that are actually very good commentaries on social issues.
Yeah, you're completely right. It's they are charming films, as all Pixar films are. The animation style is obviously gorgeous.
Yep.
And I think there's something sort of effortlessly brilliant about these films. They're sort of it's. I'll get into this more in my actual CRQs, but they have a very powerful message while it's also just pretty colours running around. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really like these movies, obviously. Okay, should we move on to CRQs?
Yeah, definitely.
Super duper. Right. Pixar sequels, I find, are sort of fun romps with heartfelt cores.
Yep.
And Pixar, sort of, the first films in a Pixar series are We Will All Die One Day. Love Your Close Ones. Have you noticed this trend?
No. You're gonna have to elaborate on that.
Right, okay. Take the Cars films, for example.
Yep.
There's three of them. First one is Lightning McQueen goes out into the desert and discovers the meaning of life, essentially.
Yeah.
He's like, oh no, I need to slow down, I need to appreciate what I've got, and all this sort of stuff. The second one is a spy film with Michael Caine in it. I would like to be completely transparent. I really enjoy all of the Cars films. And the third one is Lightning McQueen is like, I was going to say he's on his deathbed. That's not fucking right, Jesus. He's sort of learning. He's not as fast as other more modern race cars.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I wish I was faster and I wish I was like better. And then he sort of passes on the gauntlet to this person that's like a sort of a superior race car to him, and he's like, you're gonna have more of a career than I had. I believe in you, sort of thing. And it's like a heartfelt story.
Yeah.
But like my point is that the second two were about like Lightning McQueen sort of loving his friends and having a great time, but the first one was about Lightning McQueen is on a self-destructive spiral, and he will kill himself or die trying.
Yeah.
If we don't intervene. And then he's like, oh no, I've discovered the meaning of life in this small town in the middle of nowhere. I think that's what a lot of Pixar films are. They start off with a meaning of life type movie, and then the sequels are sort of fun romps. Like,
yeah.
I struggle to think of a Pixar movie that is not meaning of life-y.
I get what you mean. With Toy Story and that, like it's all about sort of Woody appreciating that he isn't, the only toy out there, and hates Buzz at the beginning, and then begins to really like Buzz. Monsters Inc.
I have not watched Monsters Inc. It's one. Somehow it's a film that has just evaded me for years and years and years. Even when it's on at like Christmas and stuff, I've only ever managed to catch the last 2 seconds of Mike and whatever he is. Yeah.
Well, I won't spoil it for you then.
I don't care.
Well, I do. Okay.
Oh, okay. It's I think this is. I mentioned this the other day because we're talking about Super Secret Project Delta for Void number 70.
Yeah.
And I was saying I don't care about spoilers. I think it's one of those things that, because somebody spoiled Endgame for me on social media. Like I clicked on the comments of a post and saw it, and I was like, oh fuck. And I saw the spoilers. So now I still watched and enjoyed the film. So now I kind of have a more meh appreciation. So that's for spoilers. Yeah.
That's your villain origin story, is it?
Yes, that's my supervillain origin story. And now every day I wake up and I try to hunt down that person wherever they may be.
Yep, it's like Dr. Doofenshmirtz from Phineas and Ferb.
Yes, it is.
One day I lost a toy train, and now I'm evil.
Oh God, Dr. Doofenshmirtz and Perry the Platypus. Every good hero-villain story can be told with their relationship with each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, even, because they have this mutual respect as well. It's like a weirdly profound relationship for a kids' TV show.
It's the humor is like, it's enough for adults to get it as well. It's like, they make jokes about like, I can't even just get the humor is like very sort of mature for the sort of TV show that it is.
Yeah, and like there's silly jokes like Dr. Doofenshmirtz says the saddest day of my life was the day I was born. Neither of my parents could be bothered to show up, and stuff like that. But then there's also sort of slightly less silly jokes where like Perry the Platypus will burst through a door or something, and he'll be like, "That was a solid oak door. Have you any idea how much that costs?"
Yeah.
I only have so much money, Perry the Platypus. Could you please pay for this?
It's like, or Doofenshmirtz is like working on like one of his innators, and Perry shows up. And he's like, "Oh, Perry the Platypus, I was expecting you in an hour. Okay, how about you capture me and I try and escape, and then what's his name? The head of."
Oh, I've got no fucking clue.
The guy with the mustache, the white mustache.
Yeah. I know the guy. Yeah.
Oh, Perry, you've captured Doofenshmirtz. Normally, you fight and then he captures you. We mixed it up a little. Stuff like that. That's really funny.
Yeah. Oh God.
What that has to do with The Incredibles, I have no clue. But there you go.
I suppose it's kind of about superheroes in a funny way.
Yeah.
Perry's kind of a superhero. Doofenshmirtz is kind of a supervillain.
Yeah, fair enough. I'll give you that. I've got some serious stuff, but we'll keep that to the end.
Oh no, I've got some serious stuff as well. We can do some serious stuff.
Okay, you go first then.
Okay. There is something very powerful about Bob feeling that he has to sort of fix everything because he's sort of the father figure and the patriarch of this family.
Yeah.
It's sort of, he feels as though the burden falls on him to fix everything and sort of make everything better sort of thing. And then when he's sort of forced, essentially, to share the burden with the rest of his family, he discovers that's sort of what he should have been doing all along. Life becomes much easier when he's sort of like, oh no, okay, that's much. If I just am honest and open and share with my family, then my life becomes much easier.
Yep. No.
I think there's something sort of intensely powerful about that. I think because Brad Bird said in an interview something about how all the powers of all the characters in the family are sort of respective of their role in the family. Like Mr. Incredible is strong because the father figure is sort of supposed to be strong, as it were.
Yep.
And what is it now? Mrs. Incredible is stretchy because mums are pulled 100 different ways, with kids wanting to do this and some people want to do this and whatever it might be. What was it he said?
Violet.
Teenage girls are, what's the word? I forget what he used, but he was like very self-conscious and stuff, so she just wanted to like sort of disappear from sort of view every now and then. And sort of small boys are like very hyperactive, so he wanted that to represent like Dash's super speed and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And the baby has like unlimited potential and all the rest of it, so that's like a powerful metaphor and whatever.
Yeah, definitely. That's Yep, that skins, I guess. Yep.
Yeah, that does scan, yeah.
Yep. I've seen some articles about this film, or these films, I should say, and they talk about it being a Randian propaganda.
Right.
Now, for those of you that don't know what Randian propaganda is, it's in reference to a woman called Ayn Rand, who created a philosophy called objectivism, which basically, the short version is, normal people are fucking useless and weak, and superior people should get everything they want, and you should just be selfish and not give a fuck about anyone. So yeah, I mean, and you can sort of see that with it. The first film, it's like the public just inexplicably just hates superheroes all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And they're portrayed as like the annoying sort of low level people getting in the way of the unregulated sort of power that superheroes have. I don't know whether Brad Bird has confirmed this, but it seems to be like stuff that a lot of people have been talking about. Which would be a shame.
No, it's that would be a massive shame. Any regular listeners will know how we feel about capitalism, but that's sort of the Randian philosophy, is that like express extreme capitalism, the market forces will regulate themselves and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
And now you've said it, the films are a bit sort of, there are a group of people who are inherently superior to others, and it's like, well, that's just grotesque.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, okay.
It's I suppose, but I don't know if it is, because it's complicated, because it's shown that superheroes have made mistakes, and I suppose it's asking, should superheroes exist morally? Should they be allowed to exist? And I don't know if there are supervillains, actual threats that can't be sort of curtailed by normal means, then I guess, but they shouldn't be beyond the law or beyond people's sort of.
No, nobody should be beyond sort of justice. Yeah,
exactly. And it should be they should be I guess the police in some way, obviously an idealized version of the police.
Not the actual.
The answer to us rather than the fucking. Yeah, but that's another thing.
I mean, let's not get into the horrific acts of violence committed by police on a extremely regular scale throughout history, and especially extremely recent history. Let's perhaps not get into that.
No, we don't want to do that.
Maybe if we give a group of people express power over essentially everybody they come into contact with, power will corrupt them. Maybe that'll be the case.
It's an interesting philosophy. I wonder if anyone's made that observation before. Who knows? Who knows?
Right, we've got some more stuff about The Incredibles before we start talking about horrific police matters.
Yes. What is it with Disney Pixar and essentialist names?
What do you mean?
Dash. He's fast. Scar. He's got a scar on his face.
Has a scar.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wheezy.
I suppose it's Wheezy. Who's Wheezy?
From Toy Story.
Oh, right.
And
who the fuck is?
You know the penguin. The little
Oh,
toy
God,
penguin.
the penguin. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Wheezy, who was called Wheezy before he became Wheezy. So either his name wasn't Wheezy, and then he was just fucking, haha, you're Wheezy now. I mean, wow. I don't.
Or did they make him Wheezy in order to call him Wheezy?
Yeah,
in a really dark timeline.
Yeah, stuffed like dust down his throat or something.
Oh, Jesus. Or why did the name Scar as they did? Did they like? One day he'll probably get a scar on his face, so you start preparing for that eventuality.
That's like naming your child Trauma. Like, one day he'll experience trauma. So I mean, there you go.
I'm pretty sure there's like Lion King beta canon where it's confirmed that Scar's original name, I forget the actual word, but it was like I think the English translation was like garbage or trash or rubbish or.
That's even
so it's
worse.
Like you called your kids Mufasa and whatever this other name was, and I'm pretty sure Mufasa means king, or it means king or leader or something like that.
Yeah.
So if you call your kids king and trash, then what are you setting them up for there?
Do you have a favourite?
Yeah. I remember my math teacher told me this story. I don't know how true it is, but about like this father that had two sons, and I presume there was also a mother involved. I don't think it was just this one guy that cloned himself. But and there was, he called one of them winner and one of them loser as like a social experiment. Have you heard this?
No.
Yeah, and the idea was that like, and supposedly the guy that was called Loser was like, yeah, my name's Loser, let's just get over it and get on with it, sort of thing. And then he sort of went on to have quite a good career and a good family life and all the rest of it.
Wow.
And like, the guy that was called Winner ended up in like prison because he was like, I'm a winner, I'm always going to win, I'm always going to come out on top, sort of thing. And that sort of corrupted him a bit, and he started doing horrid things, and yeah.
Wow. I mean, that's social experimenting if ever I heard it.
Yeah, sort of doing bizarre experiments on your children is perhaps not a good course of action ever.
It's like taking, exactly. It's like taking those like social experiment videos like too far. It's like, hey guys, we're going to do a social experiment today where I've named my children Winner and Loser. Let's see what happens. 50 years later, I'm a fucking winner. That's that the person who did that should probably be at least
put into some kind of jail.
Yeah, at least fined. I mean, but yeah. Do you think that Frozone's wife was the real villain of the because of
what
her cunning plan to hide Frozone's super suit?
No, I do not think that made Frozone's wife, who is canonically called Honey. I do not think it was Honey's plan to derail the superhero operation.
Well, I mean, you never know, do you? Maybe that's like, I could be interested if they made like a third one.
And she was the supervillain.
She was the supervillain, yeah.
Well, I mean, there's always that.
That might be
They're
interesting.
always good.
Yeah.
I don't think they will, but they could.
No, they definitely won't. Do you have a favourite villain out of the two films?
I kind of enjoy Syndrome's, like, because what he's saying doesn't really make any sense. So I kind of enjoy that his motivations don't make any sense.
Yeah.
Although there is something to be said for a supervillain that you kind of agree with, but their methods are too extreme. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely. I do prefer Screenslaver because she is just so much more relatable and understanding.
Yeah. Whereas
Syndrome is like a toxic sort of fanboy who is just forever enraged. Like just doesn't stop. It's like, I was spurned. I mean, that sort of speaks maybe to the sort of culture of superheroes. and how how obsessed people can get. Can you imagine if the Avengers were real, and I mean, Marvel and DC fans are already
at each other's throats 24/7.
Exactly. So can you imagine if they actually existed? I love stories where superheroes are examined in a sort of social context rather than just them going about punching villains and stuff like that. The Boys does a really good sort of thing with that, and The Incredibles sort of touches on that. They work for a big company, and it's more about PR, and it's more about sort of presenting your image, you know.
The Boys does do a good job of that. You're right. It's sort of horrible.
Yeah.
The Boys, I really struggled when we did The Boys. I actually kind of really struggled watching it in that I was sort of getting towards the end of the first season, and it was just sort of horrible to the degree that I was genuinely struggling to watch it.
Yeah.
And Homelander deafened that blind guy, and I was like, fucking hell.
Yeah.
This is just intensely horrid. Every single thing that happens is just horrible. But then I think it did make an interesting point about how it's oh no, it's all just PR. Everything is just PR. It's oh, Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, Homelander is, I think, probably the most despicable character, at least on television at the moment. Jesus Christ.
And I do like that Anthony Starr, who of course plays Homelander, is very quick to just sort of say, no, Homelander's a cunt. Yep.
Yeah.
And just sort of say that and say, yep, Homelander's a cunt. That's it.
Yeah, he said there is no way that he should be redeemed in any way. Either he should be utterly defeated or just continue to be an arsehole. There is no point in trying to find good in this person. You know? But yeah. And The Incredibles 2 sort of I don't know what came out first, but The Incredibles are working for a big company now. It's more about PR with them, and it's all about image and stuff like that. Yeah. So I imagine if superheroes existed, they would become property of these big companies, you know? Yeah,
either that or it would be like Watchmen, and the government would sort of take ownership of you sort of thing and keep you in a lab like they did with Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah, but I really do enjoy such stories like that because it really points to... It makes for good storytelling, and it also sort of points to our sort of assets acquiring society. But yeah,
I know what you mean. It's yeah, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but these films do have a weird message about almost capitalism. The only reason that these people are valuable is that they provide a service to society. If they did not provide the service, then they would be not valuable.
Yeah.
It's sort of more noticeable with Mrs. Incredible, how her perceived worth of herself and of other people's view of her worth is determined by the amount of superhero work she's doing. And in the first film, when she's sort of mostly just sort of a housewife, she's just almost what's the word? In her interactions with people, she almost behaves like a background character.
Yeah.
And then she sort of starts superheroing again, and she's becomes more confident in herself, and she's I am a more valuable member of society now. And you're oh, God, okay.
Yeah. I mean, sort of, I agree with you completely, and touching back on the sort of whole sort of Randian and capitalist strain of it. The villain of the first film is someone who wants everyone to be super.
Yeah.
And
that's a really good point. The villain is a communist.
I don't know if I would go that far. His motivations are so fucked. But the idea that and when everyone's super, no one will be. It's is that? I mean,
it doesn't really scan, does it?
No, is that meant to be a bad thing? I don't agree that there should be supermen roaming about that are just objectively better than quote unquote normal people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, completely.
It's that's why I was sort of it's a bit weird.
Yeah, it is weird. It's also quite strange that it's Because the technology is invented doesn't necessarily have to be used for superhero purposes. If he invented the patent or whatever and then sold it for $1 to be an open source blueprint, then that technology could be used for a lot of things. It could be used to make space travel cheaper. It could be used to make international travel cheaper and clean, free. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then but instead, they're viewing it as a way to further just yourself and nothing else. He doesn't want to use the 0 point energy for anything else, just so he can develop superpowers.
Yeah, he doesn't want to destroy the commodity form. He literally says, "I'll sell my inventions." He does. Oh, he's a communist. No. He's going to sell all that and make
Yeah, well,
loads.
that's a good point, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
He wants to retire off his inventions.
Yeah, exactly. But no, it's interesting.
I really like. This is a bit of a subjective thing, but I really love the whole dynamic of when a family of superheroes have powers that complement each other, or any team of superheroes.
Yeah.
Like it's in the Fantastic Four, it's in like the Avengers, everything. I love when a team of heroes have complementary powers, sort of thing.
Definitely. Look, the sequences of them getting chased by the guys in the sort of hoverbouts and stuff like that. They're so well executed because and they don't break the rules of the powers that they have.
Yeah, exactly.
But I know we can talk about politics and all that, but these films on their own are just fun. They're just
expertly crafted, fun films.
I could watch. I genuinely could just watch them over and over again.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I think I have watched them over and over again.
Yeah.
Incredibles 2 is even just the animation in Incredibles 1 and 2, but especially the second one. Things like I remember the promo pictures being released for the second one, and people zooming in, and you can see the individual threads in Bob's polo shirts and stuff. It's
really
utterly insane. Yeah, well, I mean, these are in extreme 4K, massively upscaled images, promo images.
Yeah.
I don't know if you paused the film and zoomed in on your TV, you'd be able to, but yeah, you can tell there's a team of very skilled artists working at Pixar, working very hard on everything.
Yeah.
And it really shows on this.
Definitely. Well, I know who the real villain is, though.
Who's that?
It's not Frozone's wife.
Is it Ayn Rand?
It's not Ayn Rand. She's up there, but it's not her. It's not Screensaver.
Okay.
It's not Syndrome.
Okay.
It is Mr. Incredible's boss before he returns to the superhero. What a disgusting little toad that man is. Holy shit.
People are getting claims. That means we are losing money. Oh my god.
What about our people?
And this is a bit of a weird tangent. I had a maths teacher who looked and behaved a lot like that that boss before he became a superhero.
Oh my god.
I mean, I doubt he listens to the podcast, but he was sort of
Hiya.
a very angry small man. It was very strange.
I guess people like him are the villains that we can never seem to overcome, Lewis?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
We did not see eye to eye, this maths teacher and I.
No.
But either way, I think I'm actually out of notes at the minute, Cocker.
Are you?
I think I am, yeah.
Guess what?
What?
I am too.
Oh, blimey.
Ain't that a thing?
It is a thing, you're completely right, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we got a cheeky bit of closing statement going on.
Yes, definitely. Very entertaining films that, again, are quite deep in their own way. Have a lot to say without being overly preachy.
Extremely powerful films which speak a lot about both the positives and negatives of a traditional family dynamic, and they say some impressive and powerful messages almost effortlessly. I really love these movies. I would rewatch them endlessly. And that is the end of my closing statement, everyone. Thank you and good night.
Definitely. I will say one more thing. The scene with Dash's teacher will never not be funny. Holy shit.
Yeah, it is.
He moved. You see? Right there. Well, you don't see it? Listen, Bernie. Don't Bernie me.
Yeah, that is a really good scene. You're right.
It's really funny. But yeah. should we do some pro Randy and Shilling?
Yeah, let's do some Randy and Shilling.
Fuck's sake. Okay.
Right, BioShock was meant to be like a sort of a satire of Ayn Rand's work.
Yeah.
So if you could pick a character from BioShock and mimic their voice to do the Shilling, please.
Wow. Cheers for that on the spot.
No, I'm only messing with you. Come on, let's just do some Shilling.
I need. Give me a minute.
There's that guy at the start. It's not Atlas, is it? What's his name? He's Irish. He speaks with an Irish accent.
Would you kindly do this?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. How far along are you in BioShock now?
Fucking not very.
Oh. Okay.
But yeah.
Well,
Go on, Chuck. Hit me with some link trees.
Okay, we have link trees, and I'll start with Lewis's. Lewis's link tree is linktr.ee/Lewis_Brindley. My link tree is linktr.ee/Ohiram. And the podcast link tree is linktr.ee/shoutingintothevoid. Well, hey, can I get a round of applause? Holy shit. I was holding my breath the entire time. No, well, I wasn't.
That was very impressive, Danny. I'm very proud of you. Congratulations on your pro link treeing.
Yes, you can find all our socials on there. Instagram, Facebook, our YouTube channel. Just go have a look. We also have a PayPal donate button, so anything you can spare, anything at all would be greatly appreciated. We also
Indeed it would.
We also have Patreon, and we want to take a moment to thank our wonderful, wonderful patrons who keep the lights on.
Yes.
Chloe.
Thank you.
Darius.
Thank you.
Sophie.
Thank you.
Peter.
Thank you.
Aditya.
Thank you.
Richard.
Thank you.
Natalie.
Thank you.
And Dougie.
Thank you very much. One and all, you enable us to keep talking about whether Godzilla and King Kong, who would win in a fight. So thank you very much for allowing us to do that.
Absolutely. We also have some adverts, don't we, Lewis?
We do. I think I'm editing this week. So we're going to play the first advert now. Do you know what my favourite part of recording the podcast is, Danny?
Is it talking to me about movies and stuff?
No, definitely not. My favourite part is making and drinking a beautiful cup of coffee to keep me focused and centred while we record. I really like using coffee from my favourite roastery, Cafe Hormozy.
I've heard very good things about them. Aren't they a small, family-run roastery in Kent that roasts, grinds and sells excellent coffee? So good, in fact, that they guarantee not to ship anything they wouldn't drink themselves?
They are indeed. They have a 100% customer satisfaction rate, and it's easy to see why. I'm currently drinking a mug of their house blend, and it's delicious, it's rich, it's nutty, and it's earthy, just how you'd want it to be.
That sounds good. I'll have to go to hormozy.co.uk, that's Hormozy, and pick up a bag with 5% off using our Shouting Into the Void discount code, SITV5.
That sounds like a great shout. I'd personally recommend their Vietnam White Dragon Origin coffee. It's delicious, and just like all of their coffee, it's great value too.
Great! Now can we go talk about movies?
No, this cup of coffee's far too good.
Ugh.
We just recorded that, and, I mean, already it's a classic.
It's perfect.
Yeah, utterly beautiful.
But here's another one that's also perfect. Am I right?
Yeah, and you are completely right. You'll hear that now. Danny, I've got some amazing news.
Oh, really? What?
I'm going to make you a hat.
Thanks. But why?
Well, because Right Side Yarns, who sell beautiful and unique wool, have recently released a new range.
Oh, I've heard of them. Aren't they that fantastic Scottish business that sells high-quality hand-dyed products perfect for crafting with?
They certainly are, and they're sponsoring the show.
Really? Have they heard the show?
Yes, and apparently they like it. Kezia, the owner of the business, has given us a generous 15% off code for any of our listeners to use.
Is that why you've got Void 15 written in your hand?
It is! If you or any of our listeners would like to use the code, simply enter Void 15 at checkout with a capital V.
Great! Where do I check out?
You can go to their website at rightsideyarns.co.uk or check them out on Instagram at Kezia_rightsideyarns.
Fantastic! This hat you're making me better be good.
See,
Woo!
the adverts just keep getting better and better. We could just keep making adverts for... Well, maybe we should start a company called void advertising.
Yeah.
Where we just make adverts. And nobody would buy any.
That's where the void comes in.
Yep. What's your bank account balance? Null and void.
And last but not least, we are partnered with another fantastic company called Number 12 Crochet Avenue, and Lewis has got some wonderful things to say about them, all of which are true.
I do indeed. Number 12 Crochet Avenue is a wonderful business run by my wonderful wife, in which she crochets and does everything you could possibly imagine that is even vaguely near crocheting, and she is really, really good at it. So I would recommend going and checking it out on Instagram at Number 12 Crochet Avenue for some of the most aesthetically pleasing content you will ever see. Go and take a look. It would mean the world to everybody, including the penguin wearing a unicorn onesie, which I keep on my desk.
Amazing. You've just looked at that and just thought, I'll add that in instead of my cat, haven't you?
Yes.
Amazing.
Sometimes the penguin makes it into the back of the Nugget of Bullshit videos, and I'm surprised nobody's ever mentioned it.
Well, I'll be sure to mention it next time that you're doing
fantastic.
one. I'll be like, hey, there it is.
There he is.
Has he got a name?
I think he does. Yeah, I think I called him Pascal or Pedro, because it's
nice.
a penguin, so I think I picked a P name. I can't remember.
Nice. Well, there you go. Well, yeah, that was The Incredibles 1 and 2.
Indeed it was. What are we doing next week, Dan?
I shall spin the wheel for you all.
Okay.
Whee!
Ooh. The wheel has finished, I hope.
Oh, yeah, it has now. That fucking wheel down you.
Superb. But, yes, I have used the power of random number generation from the wheel to discern that we are doing Ratatouille next week.
Yes, a classic, another classic.
One of my utter favourite Pixar films. I absolutely adore it. I love cooking. I love rats. What's not to love?
Okay. I love cooking. I love rats, especially when I'm cooking. Nice and healthy.
I love having rats in the kitchen. That's my favourite part of cooking.
Absolutely.
Lewis, what are you making? Oh, I'm making marinara. Oh, why are there a dozen rats in the kitchen? For flavour.
For the aesthetic.
For the aesthetic, yeah.
But there you go.
Indeed. I think that is all we've got time for this week. I hope you have a wonderful Sunday evening if you're listening to this on Sunday. If you're not, have a wonderful day.
Yes, definitely. And we shall see you, hear you, smell you, be selfish in every way possible. Not really, because that's fucking shocking. Next week.
Indeed we will. Have a lovely day. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.